getting ready for 5 games here in 1 month, and great opportunity for us to get better. And really, that's the focus with our team, is just taking one day at a time, one opportunity at a time, and working with these guys on improving their skill sets and playing together 1% better each day. And that's the biggest thing we're working on, is finding a way as a staff to help our guys, finding a way as players to get better, and taking each week as the opportunity. And got a great opportunity against a really good football team this week. Excited to play against Wake Forest, in-state game, rivalry game, and a very good football team. Dave and the staff have done a nice job, and they've got a lot of experience, a lot of good players. When you look at them on offense, very fast tempo. Their receiving core across the board is elite, and is playing at a high level. I think the way Surratt and Washington play on the perimeter, using their size to their advantage, being strong, and what Kendall Hinton's been able to do, transitioning from quarterback to their slot, is making plays for them. Obviously, both quarterbacks have played, and I'm not sure who we'll see, but they're both really good players. Their tight end does a nice job in the package they give him. The offensive line's only given up 8 sacks, and I think that their left tackle is one of the best in the conference. So, really good challenge for us. Defensively, on the other side of the football, they're sound. Their defensive end, Basham, has done a great job. Very disruptive player, long, big kid that's taken over kind of that playmaking role for them on their front. And it'll be a good matchup for us with our tackles and him. And they do a good job stunting and blitzing and just changing up, their different things. And obviously they've had some injuries at will linebacker, but there's a lot of guys in there that are making plays. They're experienced at corner. Those guys have been there a long time. And I think their strong safety, number 3, Greer, is a very, very good open field tackler. I enjoy watching him play. He's a good football player. But, they don't do a ton on first and second down. They know what they're doing. They do it well, and they do a lot on third down. And so that's going to be an important down and distance for us in this game. But looking forward to just getting back at it. We had a good chance over the bye week to get some guys some rest, and they needed it. Had a really good practice yesterday. Thought the guys, came back from the break we gave them with a lot of energy. And today they're off as well, and get back into it tomorrow. But feel good about, who we have as far as being able to play, and we're not going to gain a bunch of players back, unfortunately, from the injury list, but at least the guys, that we had in the last game are able to play together again over this past week and this week to go a little continuity there. Questions?
You have Devin as the starter at quarterback. I think we pretty much all expected that, but are you comfortable with how you got to that point? Obviously, you started Matt and Bailey, but are you comfortable with the process you went through to get to Devin as the starter?
Well, I think for us on our side, it went the way that it went. I mean, they made it happen that way. And I've said it from the start, I like all 3 of these guys, and I think they've all had an opportunity. And how it played out this way, only the guys in the building and at practice know, what happens on a daily basis. But Devin's ready. I don't think we forced him into the position before he was ready, which was, I think for any quarterback is a bad thing. He's taken advantage of not only when he was the 3, the things he wasn't doing well, he studied. To his credit, he improved to those things. When he got his opportunities, he was poised. In the last game, he threw 3 touchdowns, and they were all on 4th down, which shows a lot of clutch. And so he's earned this opportunity. I'm excited for him, and I'll continue to work hard and support Matt and Bailey, because they need to get better, and they will if they continue to do what each of them have had to do now, in a supportive role, and improve on the things that they need to improve on.
Dave, how did you handle the open date then with Larry as far as getting him prepared with the extra time you had?
He took all the reps with the ones, and got a lot of work. And so it was good work for him, good opportunity for him to run it, and keep, looking at the conversations you have with offensive coordinators and your quarterbacks. Is just, what do you see well? What do you think of this play? You go out and rep it, and, Coach, I see that really well, or I don't see it. And so you're just trying to make it fit him so that he can play fast. but got him a lot of work, and he's done a nice job. He's excited about the opportunity.
There's a lot of new names on the depth chart, at the twos especially on offense, especially the line. A lot of freshmen. Is that a product of injuries and having to replace guys, or is that a product of guys playing well, during practice this week and earning the spot?
No, it's been the same. It just wasn't updated. So it's been the same for most of the year. Since we lost Witt, obviously that changed us at tackle, which was a couple weeks back. But Icky and Bryson have started at tackle. McGurk's played a lot at tackle, so those are our 3 tackles as we roll.
But backing them up, McMahon, I believe, is on there. Timothy McKay is on there now. I think Thomas is tight end.
The way that we play inside, Spees can also go inside, and McGurk can go out. But you have to list 10 guys, so we're trying to redshirt Tim McKay if we can. But as we've seen in certain games, I lost 2 corners in one game, and so you can go from being a redshirt guy to a player pretty fast. And so all those guys are getting those reps in case of. But what we'd like to do is keep it where whether it's Spees or Dylan McMahon playing inside, we can do that. Joe Skolthrop can play guard or center, so we have some flexibility inside with that.
Speaking of those DBs, Malik Dunlap as well as Devon Graves having to go against that wide receiving core that you just mentioned, how big of a challenge is that going to be for them with their second or third game where they're playing significant snaps at this point?
Yeah, whoever's playing against their wideouts have a challenge. They have an opportunity to play against some really confident, good football players and a quarterback that's accurate in getting them the ball. So I know they're excited about it. They're studying a ton of film on those guys, but whether we had our starters or whoever you're playing against, in my opinion, that 3 that they put out there is as good as anybody's 3. And so it's an elite group, and those guys will play hard. I know that. And the good thing about Devon and Malik, they're long, they're strong guys, and so there's plays where there's body-to-body catches and push-offs and all that, and they're going to be able to hold their ground. And you're going to have to make some really good plays. In our game with them last year, they made 2 circus catches really to swing the momentum of that game. And they were well-covered guys, so you're going to have to cover and then not allow them to catch it with one hand.
Our debate stack is on just one game, but do you think you came out of Boston College with finding a big play wide receiver in Devin Carter?
Yeah, if you're looking at the positives of that game, Devin had 160 yards, I think it was, and he's, for the last 3 weeks, his confidence has grown and grown and grown. He's playing fast, he's having fun. He's become a dependable target and a guy that can run after the catch, as you saw in the one long run. And so that's good for him to be able to do that for us, and it's definitely a boost to that position group.
Are there enough guys still around from the last 2 years to kind of talk about the disappointment of those games, or is it more of now they're the ranked team and maybe you could kind of play their role this year?
Yeah, they are the ranked team. Record-wise, them and Clemson have the best records in the league, so our players know what's going on out there. Some of our guys were part of those games, but not many, so I don't know how much I can lean on that and have anything come out of it. To me, it's more about, regardless of who we play, it's going to be how we play. And I think that's the thing with our football team right now. Not that I don't care who we play, I do, obviously, but I care a lot more about how we play as a football team right now. And if we just get better, and make the plays that we can make and do the things that we can do, then we'll be in every game and have a chance to win. And, hopefully at quarterback, Devin continues to get better and better and make those plays that he showed us in the fourth quarter last week, and that'll help our offense.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've had a kid who's playing against the school that he used to go to, and because of that, do you have to kind of do anything to kind of keep Naheem from getting a little bit too ramped up?
Yeah, I wish we had Naheem.
Excuse me. Yeah.
It'd be nice to have him.
Wrong first name, same last name.
Yeah, it'd be great to have him here too. No, I've actually talked to Tabari about it, and his answer was great. He said, "I can't think about it that way. I got to be the best me for this football game, and you can't get hung up in what it was there. It's hard not to have personal feelings about playing at the school you were at, But he was very quick to say that, it's not about that. It's about playing for these guys here, and so we'll see where that goes. But that's the comments he made. I'll take him in heartbeat.
I know you will.
Anybody have anything else?
Aaron?
You sort of talked about, you come out of an open date, and there's a chance to recalibrate and re-look at things. I mean, do you feel like your guys, was that a good reset point? Not just physically, but kind of trying to figure out, okay, this is what hasn't gone well to this point and what we can do going forward. Do you think they were able to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think regardless of where they put an open date, when you're dealing with what we are from an injury standpoint, that's a good time to have it. I don't care where it would have fell in the season, whether we won or lost that game. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened, and there was a point in time 9 freshmen were on the field in that game at once, you know. And so for us to be able to get all those guys back, and all right, who's going to be healthy, who isn't, all right, well, let's go to work with these guys and get them better. It was a great time for us to have that opportunity, and I think, you know, just getting ready for 5 games in 4 weeks, which we're about to do, we needed that break to get ready for this stretch run. Gary?
You're always talking about finishing, and you pound that into the players' heads all the time, fourth quarter practice, all of that kind of stuff. You got 5 football games in November. Has that been a big theme addressing the team?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. You know, let's just get better every day. I think when you're dealing with young guys, there's always that fear of failure mechanism they deal with, and just told them to let it all go. The only thing they need to worry about is being perfect, knowing that if they do that, they'll find their best themselves, their best version of them, and that's all we need. If we can just get the best version of us and make sure that each week we're improving on what we put on tape, you know, I feel confident about that football team. It's when we're, you know, in a situation where things don't go well and there's that panic that can happen at times with young guys. Our guys just got to let it go and play ball and cut it loose. And so that's the mindset we have, and you know, we're going to make this 5 weeks as fun as we can for these kids and get out there and play aggressive. We had a rookie bowl scrimmage last night, so the young players could have some fun with the GAs and QCs calling the plays. That was a lot of fun. You know, we've had some things that we do after practices and bowl games during the bye week where we get call-outs. We bring freshmen up against freshmen, and Icky was playing wide receiver on a play, and I'm trying to remember who was covering. Jeffrey Gunner covered him. You know, so we're having some fun with these guys in practice. They're working hard, but giving them 5 minutes at the end to really enjoy football. And I think that's the thing that gets lost sometimes in the pressure cooker of college football for these kids. You know, there's all this stuff going on in the perimeters, and for them to get back to why they play, I think is really important.